Hello, everyone. You're watching God, Sex, and Love. It's your girl, Miracle Sims. And tonight we're chatting with Miss Jazz James. I can't wait to catch up with her. So I hope that you all are ready for this conversation. Stay tuned.
You see what I'm about. Not hard to figure out that I'm not the type of girl that goes around and fools around. Think I'm so done with that crazy part of my past. So don't get so old to ask, 'cause I won't go there. So be aware.
Welcome back to God, Sex, and Love. I am here with the lovely Miss Jazz James.
Hey, how's everybody?
We're so happy to have you back here on God, Sex, and Love.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
Yes. I was telling her how cute she look. I love her hair. Yes, it's adorable.
Now you're embarrassing me.
So cute. Now, and it's funny because my husband used that word adorable. It would make me feel so weird, but now I use it for people. I don't know any other way to describe it. Like, I don't want him to look at me as adorable, but I can look at you as adorable. Yeah, I can do that. All right, I'll leave you alone. I'm leaving you alone, Miss Jazz. Man, so much to catch up on.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has. And like I said, I was about to say, I'm glad that you're back so you can update us, because I know that there has been so many awesome things going on your end.
Yes, a lot has been going on.
Yes, we have to tell everybody about the good things going on. If you all don't remember Miss Jazz, which you should, but if you don't, we met back when I was, getting ready to release that risque film, that strip film, right? And so,
right.
And Jazz was one of the ladies that I say that I built a good connection with when I was reaching out to like organizations, because again, if y'all haven't heard about that, then y'all need to go watch the last episode. We won't go too deep, whatever. But basically, there was a lot of reasons why I chose to do the film, and one of the reasons was because I knew that this was and could be a real person's story. And so, with that in mind, one of my things that I had planned to do at that time was to, reach out to organizations, see if there was, anything I could do. Yes, as the quote unquote lead of the film, but then also just in general, because, this hasn't been, it wasn't something that was on my radar in life until I did the film. And then it's like, oh yeah, there are real people going through real issues and X, Y, and Z. Like, let me see what's going on. Like, I know there's got to be organizations that, are out here and whatnot. And so I came across Miss Jazz, our very first conversation. I'm boo-hooing because she had me boo-hooing. Just feeling like everything was just coming together, because I was like, again, hearing real testimonies was one of those things that was just like, wow, it was just confirmation for me that, what, even though it was risque and even though it was one of those things that was like, it's still kind of questionable if you don't think about it just from a Christian perspective. It's like, why did you do that thing? But I think talking to Miss Jazz was one of those things that kind of confirmed to me that, at least I was on the right track in some things, like, even if not all, whatever the case was. And so, and now here we are again, all these years later. We've still been, corresponding and stuff. So again, I know that there's been some really cool things happening. So I'm gonna hush now and let Miss Jazz update us on what's going on.
But first, I want to talk about that risque film, because you call it risque, and I don't think it's risque. I think it's real life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's reality, and sometimes life. Well, a lot of times life is a little bit edgy. And I think we need to get out of our little Christian boxes and get out there in the real world and confront things in the real world and quit hiding ourselves away in our churches. Because God never told us to sit in church. He told us to go out into all the world. And, I'm with Lace Ministries. I'm the founder of Lace Ministries. And one of the first little taglines we came up with, it just kind of popped up when I was speaking at an event, is God didn't call us to go to places that are comfortable. God called us to go into the whole world, including the places that are uncomfortable. And the places that were needed are very uncomfortable places. So, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes, look, yes, get us right on today, Miss Jazz. Remind us. Yes. As y'all can see, like, why we become so what we are at this point. Tell us about some of them places you've been going, because like I said, I know, man, there's just so much. Like, I know you did a convention. I know you, not only are you with Lace Ministries, but you over the like top dog of this type of ministries now, where I'm like, look at what the Lord did, because when I was looking, I did so much, man. It's like, and that was crazy to me too. When you told me that, I was like, Lord, you did that thing, because I reached out. I want to say I went on that community and that that network. I went on the network and whatnot, and that's where I found a lot of y'all. You know what I mean? And I was like reaching out to each individual person and stuff like that. And I don't think I got any feedback from the network itself at that time, but some of the individual people I did talk to, and you were one of those people, I believe, that I think I met you that way. And I didn't really talk to many other people after you. I want to say like maybe I think overall I talked to maybe 2 or 3 organizations, and then there's an organization here in Atlanta, and I'm not, I was able to kind of get on like a Zoom chat with them or something like that, but I don't know. I just didn't have that bond as if I had, that I had formed with you. So I just went, moved forward, when I did my event, I went from just that, I don't know what was that, something in me that day was like, all the proceeds are going to go to this ministry. And it wasn't necessarily supposed to be that way, but I just was like, yes, this what we're doing. So thank y'all for coming to see the screening at my screening party. And I'm like, everything's going to this and whatnot. And so, but then, since then, next thing I know, you go ahead and bless us on today with these testimonies, Miss. I'm gonna hush. I'm just gonna.
So Lace Ministries, in fact, we're now called Lace Warriors because we've grown so much. We kind of had to expand, and and we were always, it's so complicated. We were always Lace Warriors on our legal paperwork, but that's not a name we ever used. Just because Lace Ministries just kind of encompassed more of what we do. And so we had to start using that name when we grew. So last year, in like, gosh, I don't even remember, March or April, the Strip Church Network, which we've been a part of Strip Church Network from the beginning, and that is just a network of strip club ministries that come together, and we because not too many people do what we do. So we need that camaraderie. We need that sisterhood. And so we just get together. We talk about, hey, this is working in my club. Have you tried this? Are you having problems? What problems are you having? We encourage each other. We just, we're just there for each other. We're a sisterhood. The Strip Church Network provides training and resources for strip club ministries. We have a training program for new strip club ministries. We have ongoing training for existing ministries, resources. Our hashtag is Jesus Loves Strippers. And so we actually provide branded merchandise with the hashtag on it at wholesale cost, because a lot of the ministries in the network are smaller ministries and can't afford bulk wholesale pricing. And so when we all get together, then we can all come together and work together and take advantage of that pricing. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, but back in March or April of last year, the director of Strip Church Network approached me and asked me if I wanted to take over the network, because the organization that was over the network was going in a different direction. They're starting to do different things, and they knew how much I love the network. I've loved it since day one. I love anything about sisterhood, and I love strip club ministry. And to me, the two things came together. I love encouraging people. I love getting people on board with what we're doing. It was just a really good fit. It's been a whirlwind. It was way more than I thought it would be. I don't regret any of it. It's just, it's been an adjustment. I've been super, super, super busy, as you know, but loving every minute of it. So I'm still doing Lace Ministries, still doing, our own strip club ministry. We're in West Texas. If you're not familiar with West Texas, it's like a city and then 100 miles and then another city and then 100 miles and another city. So we are in 5 West Texas cities. So we're in the Panhandle all the way down the west side of Texas and then over a little bit to the east, just a little bit. So we're in Abilene, San Angelo, Odessa, Lubbock, and Amarillo, and we're in Acuña, Mexico. So, so we go a lot of places. I have great teams, great volunteers that do everything. I do outreaches in a couple of the cities, but they just, volunteers are where it's at. If you don't have good volunteers, you're nothing. And I have some of the most amazing volunteers. So I still do that. And then I do strip church. Part of strip church, when I first took it over, part of strip church was doing outreaches in the porn industry. And we would go to porn conventions and just, and I mean porn conventions. That's not a euphemism for anything. It is a convention of people for the porn industry. So strip church always had great favor with the promoters and all the people over it, there's just always been incredible favor there. And so they just welcomed us in. They knew that I had taken over. We had a woman who had actually been in charge of those outreaches before I took over, and she continued on. Just has amazing rapport with everybody there. It was just phenomenal. But you have not lived, and not everybody needs to do this. You have not lived until you have stood on a porn convention floor with animatronic sex dolls across the aisle and you're sharing the gospel with people. It's just kind of mind-boggling. But the relationships that are made with the porn stars and porn industry people are just, people crave the love of God. And people want to know that Jesus loves them, regardless of who they are or what they do. They want to know that Jesus loves them. They crave that. And so we were there to tell them that. We have since, I've passed that on. It was just too much. And the woman that was heading it up was doing a phenomenal job. So she handles all of that now. I no longer go to porn conventions. But everybody has their gift and their calling, and that was hers, and she needed to own that. She needed to take it over, and we were really happy to support her, get that all set up for her, and just bless her and send her on her way. So now Strip Church Network is strictly focused on equipping leaders in strip club ministry. If anybody out there feels like strip club ministry is something they would want to do, go to our website at at stripchurch.com. And all the information is on there. We take a non-judgmental approach to ministry. We go into strip clubs. Nowhere do we have a bullhorn or tell people they're sinning and they're going to go to hell. That's not what it's about. It is about just showing the love of Christ. We take a small gift, a cupcake, whatever you feel called to do. And we just let them know that Jesus loves them. Ministry does not occur in the strip club because they're working, they're busy, but we just are there to establish relationships. So when they begin asking questions and they're ready to know more about Christ, we can take that relationship out of the club and we can become more involved in their lives, and we can share the gospel and be a resource and a help for their lives. That's what we've been up to.
Yes, people. I don't know that y'all hear the lady, man. Okay, so first of all, she said not only do she have Lace Ministries, right? That's what we were chatting about last time, but now she's over the whole strip church network. I put the ace food cool over here, like, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in there. I'm like, look at what God did. Like, he put me directly with the person that is going to head up the whole thing. That's crazy. Yes. That blew my mind already. Then there was one time we was catching up, and she's like, "Oh, I'm about to go through the porn expo." I'm like, "What the hell?" Yeah, I'm on my way there now. Expo. I'm like, "Okay, all right," like, and there you go. Because again, it may be uncomfortable and whatnot, but it's still, you got that experience, and now you pass the baton to someone that's their calling, their ministry and whatnot. Again, knowing where you fit good is always important and whatnot. And so, that's beautiful. Expansion, y'all. Expansion is what I'm hearing here, And then I don't know if that she just kind of threw this in there. Y'all probably missed it. This lady say she international, y'all, out here. It's not just the Bay. She's over in Mexico as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, look, to God be the glory for, everything that he's doing with you, for you, and through you. Man, I don't know. Like, I know there is an organization here, but I don't know. You was telling me the last time we were chatting that I don't know. I don't know if that's my call. We're gonna see what the Lord do. I don't know why he I don't fully know, exactly why, things happen the way they did, and now we're in communication and all these different things. But we're gonna see. Because I know for sure, definitely, one of the things that's been on my heart and mind is like, I can't wait to just send you a box of stuff.
Yes.
Get into the people.
And I was going to bring my books that I bought so I could give you a plug.
Oh, yes. She purchased El Zumo, y'all. You guys have the Spanish version of the juice now, which that was crazy because basically what happened was we talked about it before, because I talked to you about the juice and you mentioned that, well, it's in English, so people might not understand. I was like, I guess that's a good point. And then lo and behold, like, I want to say maybe, I don't know how long it was between when we had that conversation, but I had a guest on the show that just happened to mention, she's like, "Oh, when I translate books." I said, "Huh? What? You do what? You translate books? Wait a minute." And so, of course, the first book that I had to translate was none other than The Juice.
Yes.
First book I started with, right?
Right.
And one of the first people to purchase it is this lovely lady here. So, I mean, there's going to be some ladies or maybe even gentlemen that receive, the juice or El Zumo, So,
yes. I'm excited to take it. Next time I go, I'll be in Mexico on July 2nd, and I'll be taking the copies that I have purchased. I'll be taking those, and first come, first serve.
Right. I am praying. I'm looking forward to that day, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to be sending you a box of, nail polishes. I got all kinds of little hookups now. I got a little, I do the little nail polish business. I do the I got the journals and things like that. So I can't wait, man. I know I'm speaking it. I'm going to be able to do that.
Yes, I'm in agreement.
I'm going to be able to do that one day. I'm going to be like, "Look, Miss Jazz, is that day? Is that day where I need to send this order at? Where I need to send this box?" And y'all could just be giving them out like, "Look at what God has done."
Yes.
We made it.
We made it.
Yeah.
Maybe one day you can even go to Mexico with me.
Yes, that too. It's so funny. I was looking, see, this is why I said we're just gonna just record and it's just gonna be our natural just conversation at this point. Because like basically I was looking, someone, I say talked us into a timeshare, but kind of like one of those timeshare presentations. And so we went and so now we have a few free nights, to go to a timeshare. And I was looking around, but all of them were like so far away from where you told me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. I was like, man, I guess there's none over there where you are. But
no, too much of an impoverished area of Mexico where we go. So there's not going to be anything. There's a place that we stay. There's a place in Mexico and a place in Del Rio, which is just across the border. It's like night and day. You know, the place in Mexico is very, well, I don't even know how to describe it in a way that people could understand. It's not bad, but by Mexico standards, it's not bad. But if that was the first place you went to in Mexico, you would be like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But the place that we stay in Del Rio is really, really nice.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. It's like we just don't know. Like we take a lot of things for granted, right? You know, the way we live and everything.
Yeah.
Our freedoms. You know, let's not get into that. But we do.
Right.
We do take a lot of those things for granted, and then we don't. I don't think we really. Maybe we do though. I don't know because there's photos and videos and stuff, but of you know other countries and how they live and everything. But it's just I don't know because I had a previous guest that was telling about her experience in Haiti and everything. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, until you go there and really see how people live, it's like, you know, where you start to appreciate the way you live, or, you know, maybe you'll think a little bit more when it comes to like these outreaches and whatnot as well. So, man, okay. So I know that you said you're going to be, I don't know if you're there now, but you say you're going to be leaving us in the US of A? You're going to move?
Yes, I'll be moving to Acuña, Mexico in January. Actually, the week between Christmas and New Year's, I'll be moving. I'm going to start a women's center there for women that have been physically or sexually abused and for sex workers. There is nothing like that there. Even the government of Mexico admits that there are not resources for women. It's a big problem there. And there is this won't be like a shelter type situation. This will be more for counseling and that sort of thing. There are shelters in Mexico, not a whole lot, but there are shelters for abused women. But it's just to get them out of their situation and then send them on their way. And so they're sent on their way without counseling, without job training, without any skills to navigate that whole process. And so they end up just going back to their abuser because they don't know what else to do. It's a very patriarchal society, a very machismo society. You know, the man is in charge, that sort of thing. So the cards are stacked against them from the get-go. So what we want to do is open a women's center where women can get counseling. We'll be using evidence-based curriculums for teenage girls and women we'll start with their self-esteem. We'll show them the value that they have in Christ. We want to show them, help them kind of get over some of the trauma that they've been through, just that sort of thing. Along with that will come skills training so that they can not go get a job so much as, although we'll work with them on that if that's what they want to do. But their society there is very entrepreneurial. They make money. So like sewing skills, things like that they can do from home. So even if they do go get a job somewhere, they can still do that on the side, because the average factory job, they make about $300 a month, but it costs about $500 a month to live. So even with their full-time job, they're going to need to supplement that with something. Most people there have their regular job and then they have their side gig. We want to make their side gig successful so that is all they have to do. Sewing, baking, just that sort of thing. And how jewelry making, a lot of artisan type stuff. They have skills. They just don't know how to incorporate that to make a business out of it. We're going to be working with our first group of women on July 2nd. They are going to make items. We're going to teach them how. They make headbands out of t-shirts. I mean, very low cost, low budget. and then we're going to purchase those from them. So they're making money. And then we're going to take those to Tabasco, Mexico, when we go there in September to use as gifts for the women there.
Wow.
So, you know, that we won't always be purchasing things from the women. That's just kind of to get the ball rolling. And I'm so excited because we go to a brothel. It's called Boys Town. We've been going there for several years. We conduct outreaches there just like we do here in the United States, except that we also take lunch. One Saturday a month we take lunch. And that's just, we're working on that trust so that we can sit and, you know, have conversations with them. Well, we met last time I was there a few weeks ago. We met a woman who is now a Christian who worked at Boys Town, and is going to be partnering with me to work with women after I moved there. It's just coming full circle for her, and God is just positioning people and situations and that sort of thing. So I'm just like over the moon, just so excited. I can't wait to get there. I'm learning Spanish. But that's a detail. I keep saying that's just a detail. That and finances, it's all just details.
Oh, so cute. I can see the excitement just, you know, coming from you as well right now. Like, I wonder, like, so what, I know you're probably close there, so maybe that could be the easy answer, but I was going to say, what led you to, you know, kind of go to Mexico as well versus just kind of staying in the area where you are and whatnot? Like, what made you branch out?
Let me just start by saying Mexico was never on my radar. Never on my radar. We are very close to the border here, but it's not anything I ever wanted to do. So, I mean, I there was a guy at my church who is a missionary to Mexico, him and his wife, and that's who I partner with now. And they kept bugging me. He would bug me every week. You need to go to Mexico with us. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to Mexico. I am not going to Mexico. I don't want to go to Mexico. No. And then I had a side gig selling jewelry, and I won a trip to Cancun. So I had to get a passport. So if I was going to go on this trip, I had to get a passport. So I did that and got back and everything. I had quit my full-time job to go into full-time ministry. And that very first month, he said, hey, you need to go to Mexico. And I said, no, I'm not going to Mexico. And then I sat down and God said, yeah, you're going to Mexico. So I got up and I said, okay, I'll go to Mexico. And I was going to go one time just to kind of shut him up so he'd leave me alone so I could say, okay, I went now, you know. And I went and fell in love. I fell in love with the people and the culture. And I knew that God was calling me to Mexico. I had no idea I'd be moving there. That was 3 years ago. I had no idea I would be moving there. But every time I went, it just was better than the time before. And just the people, just everything. We're now, I partner with, I want to say like 6 churches there. So we've got a good support system. Work in one of the elementary schools there. Just doing a lot of street ministry. We go down to the red light district and we just have outreaches out there. We tell the women that Jesus loves them. We go into, they're called ladies bars, and they're kind of like where women go. Men go to pick up women to pay them for sex, and the women go there because, you know, they have to supplement their income. But once they get to that point, it's a point of desperation because prostitutes in Mexico, once you enter that lifestyle, you will never be accepted within your society again. You're ostracized forever. So even if you quit, I mean, you pretty much have to move away and not ever let anybody know what you did. Or if they find out, then they'll ostracize you again. So even this woman who had previously worked at Boys Town, she's having a difficult time because a lot of women in the church are not accepting of her. they don't care that she's a Christian now and that she's changed her life. It doesn't matter. It's who she was, not who she is. So we're there to kind of dispel some beliefs. And we are, we have one woman that we prayed with last time we were there out of one of the ladies' bars, and she chased us down. We were leaving, and she chased us down the sidewalk, and we prayed with her, and we've got her hooked up with the church. And it's just, it's a very patient ministry. Things don't happen overnight. But when they happen big. And so, those are the things that kind of keep you going. Is they're few and far between, but when they happen big, and it's exciting. It's really exciting. And you see the woman at the well, but she's standing right in front of you. And you know that that's why you're there. You know that's your calling. You know that you're making an impact in, even if it's just that one person's life. It's worth everything it took to get you there.
Listen, look, I think, you're just a speaker at this point. You look. Everything you said just warmed my heart right now. Like, I mean, it even encourage me with this, because I know what you just said, so hopefully anybody that listening to, whatever it is that they are doing, that, they're encouraged, inspired with what you just said for them and their ministry as well. Because I could go on and on about like how that just made me feel as somebody that's like, fine, I will then, Lord. All right, so I was gonna let it go. Well, long story short, what you just said, it made me feel not just validated, but like some more confirmation. I guess this how you just gonna be with me. All this confirmation coming from you, because it can get tough to continue to like do this, right? It can get tough to because my views, it's not that I got a bunch of followers out here and bunch of subscribers or whatnot, and so, but every conversation is just, I just feel like every show, even me doing the daily inspiration, all these different things, it blesses me to do it. But then I feel like when I watch the content back, for example, whenever this episode comes out, I'm probably gonna watch it back and be like, wow, this is a powerful episode. I feel like every episode has been that way. And so just the same way with you, like you said, with your ministry and stuff like that. I'm not paying these people to come on here and say all this beautiful, what I mean, meaningful, heartwarming things, And so, and I don't know who's going to watch this at the end of the day. And your next volunteer might be out there, or I don't know. And so, when you think about that and just what God is just doing across the board, like the big picture of like what all of us being in our places look like, I mean? It's just, it's beautiful then. So, so to God, whoever's watching, man, whoever's listening, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. If you are going to team up with this lady, then,
and don't team up with me, team up with God. Team up with, there are how many cities in the world? How many cities are out there? And pretty much every city has at least one strip club, and bigger cities have more. And a lot of strip club ministries, I don't know what the right word, closed, quit doing ministry during COVID because the clubs shut down, and their lives changed too. And so we lost a lot of ministries during that time, and we need to get women back in those clubs to tell the women working in the clubs how much Jesus loves them. When the economy changes, like it's changing now, gas prices go up, inflation, that sort of thing, women will supplement their incomes doing something that they can do without it affecting their children. So, they may work a regular 9-to-5 job. Well, they go home, they want to be with their kids. So they don't want to work a second job in a restaurant or something. First of all, it's not going to pay very much money, but that's their time. That's their family time. So they want to choose something that's going to make them some money and that they can do after their kids go to bed. Or there's childcare issues, and they need, they've got a family member, a husband, a boyfriend, somebody that can watch those kids at night after they go to bed. And so women are resourceful. And you can say, well, they just need to put their clothes on and they need to leave the clubs. to me, that's neither here nor there. If you don't have something better to offer them, then you don't have the right to say anything. So I do have something better. I have Jesus. So I'm going to go into the clubs and I'm going to tell them about Jesus. And am I going to tell them they need to quit stripping? No, because I don't know their circumstances. I want to know their circumstances, and I hope to be able to help them through their circumstances later. But right then and there, I don't know their circumstances, and I don't have the right to say anything to them unless I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to support you. You need to leave the club, and I'm going to support you. I can't do that. So what right do I have to say anything? But I can show them Jesus, and I can let him work out those details later, because it is all just details. All that is important is if they have a relationship with Christ. If they have that relationship, he can work out the rest. But that relationship is key.
Yes. Yes. Well, look, she done did it again, y'all. Oh man. I mean, okay, so what, who knows? You probably got so much to say. I know it's what, since we spoke and back in 2020. So it's been 2 years, right?
Mhm.
And I know you probably have a bunch of testimonies of like what your ministry has done, right? I mean, you already shared so many already in regards to like what you do or what you have done. It's just like, I mean, in regards to maybe like some responses, right? Maybe like
Mhm.
some, I mean, I know you already shared one in regards to the lady that flagged y'all down the street.
Right.
But like, is there anything that kind of stood out to you within those 2 years that's like, wow, this was another confirmation to me to keep going? Like anything like that? Has anything like that
You mean in Mexico or in general?
or just in general, like anything within the past 2 years where you were like, this is just another reminder for me to keep going?
Yeah, there was during COVID, it was really frustrating because the clubs were closed, and we're in Texas, so we were more open than anybody else. So the clubs were closed, and then they were open, and then they were closed, and then they were open, and then they had to remain closed unless they could get a special kind of license, and it was expensive, and it just changed everything. And so God took that horrible, horrible situation. We were really worried. We were losing contact with the women. We didn't know what was happening with them. Um, we tried to stay in contact, but we didn't have everybody's phone numbers, and some people would welcome you to their home. Some people didn't want you anywhere around their house, and that's understandable. But something that everybody needed, because they weren't making money. Their clubs closed. They were not making money, or they were doing sex work like through OnlyFans or, webcamming or something like that. But they all needed food. So we were able to partner with some churches that provided groceries that we could then distribute to the women. And that is how we stayed in contact with them. Well, through that, we really strengthened our relationships with some of the women in the clubs. And most of those women that we really developed those relationships with, they're no longer dancing anymore. They've moved on to, one is married and she's pregnant with her second child now. Let's see, one is she's working, I can't remember her exact position, but she's working in a bank. There's one who she's working as a I forget what it's called. She's not a nurse, not an LVN. It's below an LVN. But she's going to go to nursing school next fall.
It's not a phlebotomy, sis. My sister got a phlebotomy school. Shout out to my sis.
But they are, one sells cars. They learned that because they had to do other things, they learned that they could do other things. And we were there to encourage them. We were there to help them. We helped with resumes. We helped get them closed for job interviews. We were just a support. And that's all we've ever wanted to be, is a support. We're not there to rescue anybody. That it would be an insult for us to go in there. It would be such an insult to them for us to say, okay, we're here to rescue you, because that implies that they need rescuing, and they don't. They are very strong, self-sufficient women. It takes a lot to get up on a stage in front of a bunch of men and take your clothes off. It takes a lot to be able to do that. And a lot of them, some do it because they want to, some do it because they have to, but regardless, they do it. And you have to recognize that strength in them. And you have to recognize that these are resilient women, and these are women that they're just so strong, and they will do whatever it takes to succeed in life. So when you can channel that into another area and you can show them, okay, you've done this, you've proven that you can do things. So now let's channel that. Let's turn that in a different direction and show you how you can use those skills in a different way. These women are great self-promoters. So they're perfect for sales jobs because they can promote themselves, they can promote their company, they can promote their product. They have those skills. It's just in them. And the one that sells cars, oh my gosh, she makes more money selling cars than she ever did stripping. And trust me, she made great money stripping. So it's just, I'm proud of them. I'm so proud of them. I'm proud of the ones in the club, and I'm proud of the ones out of the club, because they're beautiful, beautiful women. And, I love hanging out with them. I love hanging out in the dressing rooms with them. Yes, we have great conversations. We share recipes. We talk about child raising. They're just normal women. They just make their money a little differently.
Yeah. Look, I know I can talk to you all day. So I'm probably no, we gotta wrap it up. But I got, I guess, one more. I don't remember her name, but the young woman came into my mind. You mentioned there was a lady, I think she was getting ready to move to DC or something like that, and then she had to come back. And then, does that ring a bell? Or I know you deal with so many ladies, so you probably don't remember. I think you were talking about her last time you were here. Goodness, unless I'm getting you confused, but I don't think I talked to too many people about at least strip club ministry. I believe maybe it was in DC then. She, I guess, had a girlfriend and she was getting ready to move.
Oh, Virginia.
Okay. Virginia. Okay.
Yeah, we're still in contact. In fact, we talked just last night.
What?
Yeah.
Well, what's going on? Is there something to share with us here?
She is doing really, really well. She, in fact, she is now in New York, which is where she's from. That's where her family lives, and she's there now. So, yeah, she's doing great. She works at a hospital, in the dietary department. Early mornings. She doesn't like that part so much, but she likes what she does.
Yeah, well, hey, man, look, she's on our hearts and minds here at GSL there. God brought it to my mind just now. Again, I didn't remember my but yeah, I mean, at least she was on my heart and mind. I had to ask.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Well, again, I truly appreciate you for what you're doing, standing in the gap in this area. Congratulations on everything. Again, I know I told you before, but now that I got you here, I gotta say congratulations to you. Yes, tell us again how we can partner with you in regards to, your sites and everything like that. And then if you have anything else to share, feel free.
Now, our main website is laceministries.org. And through that website, you can connect with us. You can connect with every other thing that we do. So you can connect with us for Strip Church through that website, and for the Mexico ministry is there. It's laceministries.org.
All right. Anything else you want to share?
Not yet.
All hearts and minds clear. Well, Miss Jazz, I can't wait till your next update, man. I'm excited. If I don't talk to you before you leave, then I hope that you have safe travels, and that your new home and everything like that, everything goes well with your transition. to Mexico. And again, I'm glad to know you. And
Oh,
I
thank
can't wait
you.
to,
Thank you.
our ongoing collaboration here.
Yes, yes. Lifelong friends.
Until you throw me away, I'll be.
You're amazing. You are amazing, Miracle.
I'll try every now and then. Look, I can't catch up with y'all. Y'all going, man. I'm gonna end this thing for everybody else, but thank you again for coming.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Miracle Sam's, let's go. You see what I'm about. Not hard to figure out that I'm not the type of girl that goes.
Thank you so much for watching God, Sex, and Love. And thank you to Miss Jazz James for visiting and updating us tonight. I hope that you all enjoyed the conversation. Again, check out her ministry and everything she has going on. If you do feel led to join and help out, please, please, please do so. And friends, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. All right. Have a good night. Bye-bye.